Working for the weekend, and I wanna see a show. I flip on the book of face. Yeah, I know where to go. There's a man over there into the music scene, showing lots of love.
That's what I want
for the community. With great advice, I know who I should go see. So all around town radio show is where I go for the latest band info. So
Reno, backwards. Fascinating.
All right. Welcome, everybody, to a nooner here at All Around Town Radio, your source for everything music from the beautiful All Around Town studios in downtown Springboro, Ohio. It is time to get to it. We're going right to it today, guys. I've got some great special guests. We're going to talk about something really fun called Camp Rockstar. So let me bring these guys into the mix here. I've got Sean and Billy. How are you guys?
Yo, what's up?
It's
Scott, how are you?
Good to have you here today, guys. Always great to be in the presence of such rock and roll royalty here from the Cincinnati region. How you doing, boys? You all right today?
Great. Beautiful Wednesday. The sun's shining. It's not -12 yet, so it's all good.
We like that a lot. Let's hope for spring coming this way. We're going to talk about something really fun. First of all, though, before we lead into it, I do want to talk about the Music Salon for a minute. Sean, can you give us a quick backgrounder about the Music Salon? And you've been doing this a while. We had you on the show a while back talking about it when you first kind of kicked it off. So
yeah,
how's things going there, and what's shaking at the salon?
It's awesome. Thank you for asking, and thank you for having us on as always, and thank you for promoting local music and businesses like you do. You are the rock star, man. So seriously,
truly,
yeah. Thank you for all that you do.
Thank you, my friends. I appreciate it.
Yeah, and you are appreciated more than you probably. Well, I know you know, but people really appreciate you. So
thank you.
So anyway, back to the Music Salon, man.
Yes,
I've been in business for a while. Over a decade. Quick story. I started off with just me in a room teaching guitar, and now it's I've got this beautiful space in Madeira. We have 12, 13 teachers, hired 2 more teachers. We do everything. We rent instruments here. We have every kind of lesson you could think of, from guitar to vocals. And we're actually building a new room starting in a couple of weeks. We're adding another teaching room. This will be our 5th teaching room. So things are going great. And we're doing these, Camp Rockstar, guitar clinics, all kinds of cool stuff.
Superb. So
Yes,
lots of fun stuff happening there. I see all your videos you do. You do a lot of videos where you do, you had Scotty Bratcher on not too long ago doing a little gear breakdown and all that.
Yeah.
Loads of fun. It's just cool. And Billy, you're staying busy as always, man. You're out there playing all the time and doing your thing on the other production side. So it's great to have you both with us today. But want to talk about something you're bringing to the area that is it just blows me away. I've been doing a little research on it since we talked about being on the show here. Camp Rockstar. Who decided to pull this off? That's what I want to know.
Well,
Sean,
it takes a village,
truly.
But I've always thought it would be a cool idea. I mean, because there's other places that do similar things, and it's all great. But I wanted to do something. He and I wanted to do something a little different. Almost like I hate the word boutique, but it's more of a boutique style where it's not just a cattle call and here you go, here's your songs, blah, blah. And that stuff's awesome too. It's all real world experience and you cannot beat that. This is just something different we offer. I wanted to do a different angle. We were really and this is an adult one, by the way, for adults. We're bringing these adults in that maybe been living room rock stars or weekend warriors or never done anything, but they've been playing for years, months, decades, and they just want to get out and be in a band with other like-minded musicians. And I thought, man, I need somebody that's motivated like me to help coach these guys and girls. And I couldn't think of anybody better. So yeah, it's just we really walked into the process of how to be in a band and perform, and that's what it's all about.
Cool. Go ahead, Billy.
A lot of that assessment is finding these people at their place of growth and fostering it from there. So, we have testimonials from the previous ones that we've done. And the whole idea, I think, that's different is we take this outside of the walls. So these people get to, while they're in the workshop, they're learning all of the things that may be known to us or assumed knowledge, but we kind of break it down and explain it to them so it makes sense and move them through that process, ultimately to their final performance. And even beyond that, to us, they're like little hatchlings. We want to see them fly away and do great things with the skills that they've developed here. And we have a few artists that have come through that are already out on their own. They've learned how to book gigs, how to load in, how to deal with their own tech, develop their skills, develop their music sets. And, it's a beautiful thing to watch, because you have a investment in their success when they come here, and to watch them go out beyond the walls, so to speak, and do great things on their own is a testament to what we're trying to do.
Well, it's a great opportunity, and there's so many moving parts to the music business that people don't realize. They think, I can pick up a guitar and go sing and sit on a stool on stage, and that's all there is to it. But it's not. There's so much behind it. And I know we'll get into the bullet points here in a little bit about what you guys have said you're going to give these people when they come to this camp. But I want to go boutique, Sean. I saw that on some of your advertising. You said you didn't like the word, but I want to know why you're calling it that, because I think this one looks a little different than some I've seen that people have tried to pull off here.
All right. I secretly like the word, but I don't want to be cheesy. I just want to do things different, man. I mean, if you come to the music salon, it looks like an art gallery when you come in. I want it to be very just different. My own, everything, not to get onto me, but like, everything in here in the music salon, every single picture, every single piece of furniture has been meticulously picked out. It's not just put a guitar chart poster on the wall like other places. Not that that's wrong. I just want to do my version. So it's kind of, it's got the boutique style. It's got a very personalized style. Every person that comes through here, we want to pay special attention to. Everyone that comes through here is a rock star. Literally we treat them like that. And that's our motto, everyone's a rock star, whether it's whatever you can do in life. And that's kind of the theme of the music salon. And not to be all wordy here, but like we want to take people from just on the stage and bonding and performing in a band, but getting this whole new skill set that you can use in life, whether it's being a teacher, a radio host, a surgeon, whatever, a plumber, but you're a rock star at what you do, man. You have a lot to give in life. And so sometimes people just need that encouragement and that fostering to get them to the next level.
I got to jump in real quick here.
Yeah.
I can attest to that. The second you walk past the floor mat, there's a vibe here, and it's really cool. I think you've done a great job kind of, decking the place out and making people feel like they're in a different space when they walk through the door.
Well, Sean, you're, first of all, everything I've ever done with you, you're a perfectionist. And the other side of it too is that you obviously have taken huge personal pride in this music salon project. I mean, it's
yes.
You've put sweat equity into that, a lot of sweat equity into it. And you are the rock star when it comes to that, because I've known people that have come through your doors and just what Billy just said, they are wowed by it. They're like, this is a cool place. This is a place I could hang out and just listen to people, learn to play music.
Well, you know what? I think it means the world coming from guys like you. But that was the goal of this, is like a place where people feel welcome. That's it. It's just a cool vibe. So,
awesome. It. Well, let's get back to the Camp Rockstar, because you're taking people who, like you said, may be the weekend warrior who play a little bit, or they don't. Maybe they've just played in their house and they're like, I'd like to take this to an all new level.
Right.
And you're bringing them in and. You guys, let's face it, you're both seasoned musicians in the region, and you've put together a camp of seasoned musicians, as it looks here, and different people that can give them different advice. And I noticed you said a lot about hands-on coaching. So can you dig a little deeper into that, about hands-on coaching and how you guys will approach the person who's in Camp Rockstar?
Yeah, I'm going to let you answer that, but real quickly, I mean, back to like, who's this camp for? I'm kind of getting ahead of myself, but this camp is for anybody that's really wanted to be in a band. So this is not for people that are already out playing stuff. This is for people, I call them the living room rock stars, the couch rock stars, that they're pretty darn good, or, maybe they're okay, but maybe they're just scared to take that step. So it's really for anybody that wants to be in a band. And that's where he and I come in. We show you everything. So I'll let you answer the question.
Yeah, I think it's really a great opportunity for Sean and I to share our experience, what we've encountered in the industry and through our own growth process, along with some of the more logistical things of knowing how to maintain your gear, knowing what gear to pick, knowing what it means from the moment you walk through the door of a venue to the moment that you leave with your last piece of gear, what all transpires during that point. And that's really kind of the coup de grace from the workshop itself. So while they're in the workshop, they're learning all of the things that we would take for granted. They're coming up with their own band name, selecting songs that are appropriate for their range and abilities, and learning how to play and listen to other musicians while they're playing. The professional attitude that you carry when you approach a venue, and what does that look and sound like, and how do you go through that process? So it's kind of a step-by-step incremental growth experience for these people as they move from week one to the final week, preparing for the final performance. And one thing that goes along with that, which isn't often discussed, are things that in many ways impede people from even contacting us. And that is taking that first step.
Yes, yeah.
People are anxious about their levels of ability or, how well they've learned their instrument. And we try to allay those concerns because I still go through it. I'm sure Sean does too. When we're playing high profile shows, whether it's corporate or on tour, and you've got cameras on you and $500,000 of production, everything's on the table. And you think about all those hours that you've spent preparing for that show, and you get, 1 or 2 hours to deliver it as perfectly as you can, so it's really a culmination of all those things where we try to get ultimately these performers to feel confident and, expressive on stage.
All great advice for people. And you guys, being the seasoned professionals you are, as I've said before, you still get butterflies sometimes. You still get those stage angst, when you're going out there and you're like, is everything going to work right? Are we going to have a cable problem? Or are we going to, just the little things sometimes
It's not easy to get up performing. Even if you get up at the, on a Thursday jam, there's a lot of, am I going to mess up? Is my amp going to, am I going to break a string? There's a lot of things. And that's just, I think what Billy and I bring is just our decades of experience to the table. I mean, we're both pretty successful at what we've done. We've, not always, it's been a lot of trial and error. And I think that's what we offer is like, man, we can save you a lot of time. Don't do this, do this. Mm-hmm. But eventually you've got to take those steps and do it yourself.
Well, I love what you just said about also skill level and what song is in your wheelhouse and what song's not, because there's times I'm out watching bands play and I just want to walk up to them and I want to say, please drop that song from your set list. Right. You guys are really good, but that song does not do you justice, Yeah. And that's where they're going to get advice from you guys. And it's not going to be the dramatic, I'm sure, the voice type thing where you're telling them, oh, you suck today and all that. You guys are going to encourage them. You're going to give them the chance to move into something that makes them feel good about what they're doing. And let's dig a little deeper into candidates for this, though. Who is a good fit for this? Camp Rockstar.
I can field that if you'd like.
Please do.
So ideally, we're looking for aspiring musicians. I was going to bring this up earlier, talking about the skill levels, and we're all on the same timeline. And I can identify with many of these people that are just starting out because that was me. I am that guy. And you could compare me to some other artists that are in this elite category, and I'm on that same timeline trying to improve as my career goes on. And so we are really looking for people that have that spark and desire, have a modicum of ability so that they are teachable and receptive to guidance. And the person that may have just needed a little nudge to start the first step, which is coming to the workshop and coming on day one to the workshop and learning what they're about to experience for the next 6 weeks.
Yeah. And if I could add to that, I know a lot of people I've talked to are like, oh, I'm not good enough, or I don't know,
Sure.
I get that. Like, there's always trepidation with anything, man. And like, one thing we say is, like, from the very first time we meet the guys and girls in the place, is like, if you're here today, you've already won. You're already a rock star, because to take that step to anything in life, whether it's good to go to a new yoga class or join a gym or, learn how to bowl, anything in life, to step outside your comfort zone, you have to be really a rock star and, ambitious to do that. So it takes a lot of courage. And to that point, this is for anybody that's really wants to take that next level, like you said. And if somebody's, pretty beginner, well, we'll find a role for you, whether it's just playing single notes in a song or hammering out whole notes with the chord. We're going to find a spot for you to, work. We're not going to give you a Dream Theater song and say, here you go, kid.
Right.
We try and help everybody out and find parts. We make it work. And it's kind of the cool thing. It's almost like I tell Billy, we joke around, it's almost like a reality show. It really is. We get these people in here from day one, and you watch this evolution of 6 to 8 weeks. And it's pretty remarkable, actually, because every year, inevitably, we're like, oh my God, is this going to work? And we're like expecting fathers onto the side of the stage.
Truly.
And they always hit a grand slam every year, So,
Yeah. One of the beautiful things, Scott, to witness is what we've all experienced. And that is, you develop a trust, and it's a band of brothers or sisters, if you have some females in the band, of relationships. There's a lot of trust that goes into performing together, and it's kind of like us against the world. There's a lot of that kind of feeling when you're on stage and you're working in synchronicity, when you're able to perform a piece of music live to an audience. And watching these guys go from shaking hands at our meet and greet and assigning parts and instruments to each person, to the final week where they feel like they've, almost like a platoon, that they've gone to battle or boot camp together. And the bonds of friendship that these guys have going into the performance, you can really see how they've learned to place that trust in each other. And it's really cool to watch, especially having experienced it too. So I think ultimately the takeaway at the end that gives me some of the most joy that I experienced through it is watching these guys build relationships that transcend the workshop. These guys still play together. They still contact each other. They still reach back to us to say, hey, I've got shows at this bar and this bar. And that's how I know that we've done them a good service.
That is so cool. I mean,
it's a lifelong bond. It's an experience, man. That's what we're trying to give, is an experience, a lifelong experience that you'll remember forever. Hi, Todd and Carla. And most people have no idea what it takes to even load in the gear or how to do a sound check, and they get these nice little backstage passes. We try and do every little detail we can, to a green room if we can, and just like every aspect of, living a life.
How to work with a sound engineer in a club. Yeah. I mean, that relationship needs to be very good, or it can be very bad. I mean, we all know that. They
single-handedly control how you end up performing. Yes.
Yeah. And it might sound cheesy, but Billy and I are kind of like, I guess mentors, but like, once the camp's over, we're not like, hey, see you later. Like, well, most of these people are my friends, and if they're not before, they're going to be afterward. And they'll call us, long after the event. Hey, I got a question. Can we ask you this? And that's what we want to do. Hey, Joseph.
Hey, Joe.
What's up? Hey, Joe. What you doing with that gun in your hand? I couldn't. But no, I mean, we're kind of like on call for forever. It's like, that's kind of our duty, is like to help other people, man. It's like, if you have a question about it, we'll be glad to help you, man. We probably could answer most things at this point in our life.
Well, I'm going to drop you two into the incredible human being category for me, because that is awesome that you do that, and you stay with them too if they have a question later, because I don't know too many guys that would sit before me here in the local scene that have as much experience as you do, both of you. And let me, for those that are watching that may not know you two at all, and that from especially around the Dayton area sometimes and this and that, do a little quick background, just a real brief background, each of you, about the projects you've been involved in, what you're doing, and then let them know the experience that's going to be sitting there as mentors here at this Camp Rockstar.
Well, he was Millie, I was Vanilli. Oh,
Yeah, right. So I perform locally in Cincinnati with my three-piece Billy Rock band. I have Alex Lush on bass and Christian Robles on guitar, two phenomenal musicians, and I've been very fortunate to be able to work with them for a long time. Christian, I think about 2001 is when we met, and I met Alex in the studio in 1998. So we have a long history of performing and recording together. I've also been touring with Philip Myers for probably a little over 15 years, and we have been lucky enough to embed many of the stars from 80s bands in our show, and I've been lucky to perform with a lot of heavy hitters: Los Lobos, Fran Cosmo from Boston, John Elefante from Kansas, Kevin Chalfant, who sang with Journey, Steve Augeri from Journey. So these guys are all, at this point, they're 20 years my senior, but they're still out there doing it. And I've been able to travel the world performing with these artists along with Philip Myers Band. So it's been a great run.
Well, I'll throw a little shameless plug into Billy Rock, one of my favorite bands. I'll catch hate for that from the other bands, but yes, it is. I love your sound, your style, your genre that you play, and then it's just so cool. So thank you, Billy, for joining me today as well. And Sean, how about you? You've been around the world in that back.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up around music. My whole family were musicians. My dad was a pretty famous jazz musician here in town.
He was the GOAT.
Yeah, and then early on, I started playing guitar. One of my first biggest bands was a band called Freak Bass, and I did the whole touring thing in a van and trailer and performing all over, and that was awesome. Got in some pretty popular cover bands. I was in Naked Karate Girls for a while, Catalina Wine Mixer Band. I had my own band, Three-Piece Revival, for almost 10 years.
Awesome band.
So done,
Yes.
Fortunate enough to play literally all around the country, and in the world, I should say, yeah. Doing
awesome.
what I love to do, so.
Well, thanks for the background, guys.
Scott, in this process,
Hey, Brian.
I have not lost my humility. I've played to the bartenders and I've played to thousands, and everyone gets the same show.
And I can attest to that too. I've seen you in all kinds of settings, and I'm just going to say it too, Billy. You're one of the nicest guys I know in local music, and it shows here. You're giving back to these aspiring musicians, and both of you. You could be doing something else. We know. I mean, this takes a lot of time and effort on your part. I'm sure, Sean, especially with the music salon going on and setting this up, it's probably pretty time consuming. But is it rewarding at the end for you?
1,000%. It's
Yes.
a labor of love, man. I mean, this is where I want to be. I mean, I haven't publicly announced it, but I quit all my bands about a year ago. I was in 3 of the area's top bands, playing all the time, and I haven't told anybody. I just quietly bowed out. Just got tired, man. I love the music salon. I love teaching. That's kind of where my heart's at. I do solo gigs now. I still get to play. But this is really what I aspire to do now, is kind of just giving back all the years of what I've done and passing on to the next generation, because you can't take it with you, man.
Scott, you touched on one important thing a moment ago, and the desire to give back, as it were, is really rooted in, I see myself in these players. And again, when I mentioned the timeline, I'm on the same timeline they are. I may have jumped in sooner than they did, but we're part of the same timeline. So it is necessary to throw your brother a rope. And if I can shorten their learning curve based on things that I've been able to experience, the same way I had mentors and I had people that pulled me aside at different points in my career to give me advice and help me experience less self-inflicted pain, then I'm happy to do that for someone else.
Yeah, it's more about what not to do than what to do at this point in life. I mean, honestly, It's don't do this and you should be fine,
Well, and you're teaching that, I think. I mean, that's what I see in this Camp Rockstar. You're going to show them the do's and don'ts, and there's a lot of don'ts. There's a lot of don'ts out there that people make mistakes, and because they don't know.
They don't know. You think common sense is not always a common thing.
I think too, it's important to mention that when they come into this workshop and there is a definitive deadline, showtime, the big performance, it really creates a motivation because you're on a time clock, right? So boxes have to be checked, things have to be done. And that's part of the process that we take them through, guiding them incrementally through this 6 weeks. And moreover than that, beyond the music, beyond the relationships, in a band and things like that, if we can help someone develop confidence from inside, we've done our job. So there are more life skills coming into play than just being able to master a song and get to a gig and effectively play it. It's developing your skill sets from inside. And if it's confidence or independence or things of that nature, and we're able to help them grow, then in my mind, we've done our job.
Yeah.
Thanks for your comment there, Ed Sawicki. I appreciate that. And it's good to have you with us. And Dave's got the perfect comment, I think, here. Wish this advice was available back in the 80s when I needed it the most.
Sure.
And, that so many musicians say, I wish I knew this then, when I was starting out and all that.
There's something to be said for just experience. But again, you have both of those things. It's a perfect storm, right? Experience and those guiding you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, tell me about it. You're on the website. You talk about hands-on coaching, real band experience, and celebrity appearances. Are you going to have some other folks popping in throughout the series here as they're doing these weekly events?
It's looking like it, but until
are you keeping a lid on that?
Is that a secret? Is that going to be a secret today?
Yeah,
that's the little carrot he's dangling.
We're going to have Tom Selleck. Okay, cat's out of the bag.
Apparently, I can't tell everybody that.
No, we have some people. You know how it is, man. Things can change, and we both have friends in the music industry and the business and touring musicians and whatever you want to call them. And everybody says, yeah, they're into it, but I have to look at my schedule. So, if it happens, it happens. But we certainly hope to. That's all I can say.
Perfect.
And it'll be great because everyone has and I'll back up a little bit to say how proud of the local music scene I am. We have in Cincinnati, and Scott, you and I have talked in the past in previous interviews, and I feel like it's important to say every time. I'm so proud of our music scene. The brothers and sisters that I have in greater Cincinnati and Dayton and even stretching up to Columbus and further south, we have such a wealth of talent and diversity in our music scene. You can go out any night of the week in Cincinnati and see world-class musicians performing.
Amen. I agree 100%.
And I've lived a lot of places. Cincinnati was my 7th or 8th move. So, I've lived on the East Coast. I've lived in Memphis. I've been around quite a bit. And Cincinnati uniquely has one of the strongest and robust music scenes that I've experienced. And it is the old adage of, rising tide raises all ships. So the more that I see my friends succeeding in music in this town, the more joy it gives me because we have the audience base. Cincinnati is great. They support local and live music so well in this town. And to watch friends of mine who play in other bands in town have great shows and see good crowds, the detriment would be trying to stand alone.
Right.
We can't.
Well said.
So being united in that way and knowing that you can go out and see a great heavy metal band, you can see great jazz, you can see great pop, you can see great R&B, you can see great blues. There's no genre that's untapped here. And I'm humbled to be in the presence of all of these musicians and to be a small part in it.
Amen.
Yeah, you're getting a few kudos in the comments, but I'll agree with you 100%. I've been all over with the music scene in different states, towns, cities, and I'll put Cincinnati metro area and the surrounding areas up against any of them for not only musicianship, but also community.
Yep.
Like you said, the community, people that have never picked up an instrument in their life, but they love live local music and they go out 5 nights a week to see it. Or, it's amazing to me because you go to bigger cities and you're hard pressed to find music sometimes. It's some guy pushing buttons on a DJ turntable, and I'm not knocking those guys. They do a job, but it's just like you want to see that soul on stage pouring their heart out into that song they wrote. That's what I want to do, And
I think that's why you're so instrumental in this equation, Scott. People like you and Joe Hollywood and Karis and so many of the people that
and Edward taking pictures, the whole community, man,
and Karen Jodas and Ed Swicky, all of these people that you're kind of you're the sticking agent for all of these music scenes. And I've said it to you before and I'll say it again. Without you, we don't have this voice.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful to have been able to spend time with you in the past on interviews and in venues and watching how selfless you are and giving of your time and effort, which often can be a thankless job, as you know. I just want to make it known on the airwaves today how greatly we appreciate what you do and what people like Karis do and Joe Hollywood and all the other people that may not be mentioned right now are doing in our music community.
Well, thank you guys so much. And Dave, I've never been called a pimp, but thank you for calling me a pimp in the comments. All right. I didn't know that, but guys, we gotta move on a little bit before we go here. So let's recap Camp Rockstar, talk about the dates, times, events. We'll get it up scrolling on the screen too and all that, and how you can get involved because you've still got time to sign up, right?
Yeah. We have quite a few spots still available. I mean, and the not selling point, but the uniqueness to this is we don't let a lot of people in. We try and cap it at around 12, and we have a few spots still available. We try and form 2, maybe 3 bands. Last year we just did 1 big band, so it depends on the number of participants. But it's kind of an exclusive thing. But don't hesitate, even if you're not going to commit. Come check it out. Talk to one of us in this. I would just say don't hesitate, man. I mean, what are you waiting for?
If you sing, play drums, play bass, play keys, we're looking for you.
Yeah.
And
you don't have to be a singer either, right? I mean, they can be just a guitarist or they can be a drummer,
absolutely.
Right? You're not forcing the vocals on anybody that maybe doesn't carry a good tune that way.
No, but we will encourage it without pushing someone's level of comfort too far. We don't force that, but I see, vocally, that's another instrument. So if we can help someone develop those skills, it turns you into a multidiscipline musician, which makes you more valuable out in the world.
Yeah, but obviously you can contact us directly on Facebook, but go to themusicsalon.com. There's links, registration. Stop by and see me, call me, send me a Facebook message. I mean, we're easy to find. And I'll be happy to answer any questions. But yeah, I mean, if you know somebody that might be interested, maybe push them a little bit. Like I said, this is a really good opportunity, man. This is why we're doing it. It's not any other reason. It's just to help people out,
And they can also see our testimonials on some of our Facebook ads of previous students that we've had. And, these were all people that walked in nervous and unsure. And by the end of it, they're saying this was one of the greatest experiences they've had. So we promise that no matter how you come in, you're going to leave with better skills and a better sense of your own confidence.
I mean, Justin Bieber was one of ours. Look at him now. I mean, the kid's going places.
Yeah.
We do it all.
People are starting to know his name.
Starting to know his name. Yeah.
Really? Yeah, he's kind of a household name now. I know you guys made him. All right. So Camp Rockstar, guys, the music salon, and that's April 4th through May 10th. Registration information can be attained at themusicsalon.com. I was on the website this morning, easy to navigate. Get you right there. You can sign up right there on the spot, or you can call or email Sean at themusicsalon.com.
Yeah.
Or there's a phone number on the screen as well.
God, I did want to point one more thing out. I hosting my Noah Weatherspoon guitar camp in a couple of weeks. So there's, I think, 2 spots left for that. It's a weekend thing. Get more information on the website. But I do all kinds of these events. But this is our main one we do every year.
Yeah, and Noah is clearly
phenomenal.
A gem in
yeah.
this city.
Yes.
And world-class talent. And as nice as he is good on the guitar.
Yeah, we do a whole weekend workshop with it, followed up by a performance. That's for another day. But yeah, I just want to throw that out there. You can find information at the website.
Yeah, I just had the opportunity to work with Noah at the Cincinnati Winter Blues Experience.
Oh, yeah.
What a pleasure he is to be around. Just a super nice guy, and just
Really
got on stage and blew the roof off the place,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
It was so good.
Crazy.
Just
Again,
such a
all the
great
talent in
talent.
this area, man. It's crazy. It's crazy how
It
much
is.
talent in this area.
And
So.
I joke, I was doing shows with Noah when his mom used to have to drive him to the shows. So he wasn't even old
my
enough to
God.
drive yet. So yeah,
That's
he's been
so cool.
around a long time. And
Yeah.
guys, I can't thank you enough for being here. Anything else you want to share about this event that we may have missed throughout the talk today?
Yeah,
Just keep your eyes out
Yeah,
in
spread the
social
word.
media. And if you see a link and you think this might fit the bill for you, please contact us because we'd love to have you.
Well, I encourage anybody that's watching today that's had their head in the sand for the last 50 years and haven't seen the Billy Rock Band to get out and see Billy Rock Band. Also to visit the Music Salon on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. I love what you're doing, Sean, with social media.
Appreciate it.
Some of your little quick little things you do there about guitar chording and all that. I don't play guitar, but I sit there and I'm mesmerized by it. So it's good stuff. And you
We'll
guys
get
are giving
free
back.
lessons anytime you want, my brother. That's for sure.
Well,
yeah.
I probably need to do that. I used to play bass years ago, but I couldn't probably try to do that again if I tried.
It's never
to do that.
too late.
You got enough musicians in your corner that would help you out.
You think so? Maybe I could do one song at a show sometime if I learned a
see
little
that?
bit. Wouldn't that
Now
be
we're
great?
talking.
Now your comment section's going to blow up.
Yeah.
And
Guest
harmonize a
stars.
little river band with Billy Rock or somebody.
Oh,
there.
yes.
So we have a good time.
Yes.
Guys, you're two of the absolute gems in the city, and we appreciate both of you
Thank you,
and
sir.
what you do. And this Camp Rockstar, I'm looking forward to it. Let's talk about the final event, though, before we go to. We missed that at the Bell and the Bear, right?
The iconic
Yes.
Bell and Bear.
Yes, and of course, thank you for having us. It's going to be a show Sunday night. I believe the time 6 to 8. Everybody's welcome, family, friends, public, and we just want to put on a hell of a concert. Give these guys and girls a special treat and get people rocking. I mean, it's pretty cool to see all the families come out. I think we've had 250 one time at one of these shows. I mean, it gets packed, and these people are, these guys and girls are performing on a stage who's never played on a stage before for a packed house. It's pretty cool. It's exciting. So,
and there's a lot of musicians in town that give away their pedal board to be on that stage at the Bell and the Bear. So, we it's kind of iconic when it comes to local music. It's the good vibe.
It is a great vibe.
Karis
It
has
really is.
done an amazing, I have a 22-year history with that venue. I've been playing there since about 2000. I might have squeaked in a couple of gigs before then, but to see what Karis has done with that environment and the scene at the Bell and the Bear is
crazy.
Is amazing, truly amazing.
So good, and magical. Many times the combinations that make that stage happen is
And
the
the final
people that
thing I'll
you'll
say-
never see.
Yep, 100%. And the cool thing is, it's bringing all of us together to work together. That's what I like. We've worked on some projects. I'm sponsoring the guitar. One of the sponsors for the guitar shred off.
Shred Off, yeah.
It's just bringing us together to work together, and just like I said, it's, like you mentioned, it's this community. So it's all these little things that bring us together closer and closer. So.
Sounds
Can't
great,
think
fellas. I'd
clean up
love to
that.
have you back on at the end of this to maybe talk about how it all went, because everybody
yeah.
that's watching here and going to watch not live today, obviously, some of them will be watching after the fact, would be probably really curious to find out how it all went and who shined during this.
We'll do
performance.
it.
Absolutely.
Yep, we'll do it, my friend.
Be good. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate
Enjoy
you.
your
And,
Wednesday, sir. See you,
I
brother.
will.
Thanks,
And
Scott.
See you
thanks
guys.
for joining me today, guys. Thanks for all the comments. We'll be back tomorrow live at 5 with who's playing out, the best musicians and venues in the tri-state and where they're playing all week long. So join us then. Until then, our motto here, get out. Oh, what are you saying? I'm trying to see that up close. Let me zoom in on you, Billy.
Oh yeah, we got some
There
new
it
hats
is.
here.
Little shameless plugs for the music salon there.
New
today.
lids.
New lids, baby.
There it is. All right. And we ran out of time, but I was going to ask you one final question. You want to do it super fast in one name only. Sean, if you could take the stage with anyone past or present, who would it be?
Eddie Van Halen.
Billy?
Robert Plant, Chris Cornell, or I'll leave it at those two.
Billy's an overachiever. He has to have more than
Yes.
one. All right. See you guys. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye, everybody.
Thanks, Scott.
Hang in there with me for a second, fellas.
I was going to say UB40. I don't know why that came to mind.
Working for the weekend, and I want to see a show. I flip on the book of face. Yeah, I know where to go. There's a man over there into the music